Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another tutorial. This is an inspired video and an inspired project. So I watched a while ago, a video done by Sabrina Taylor. I believe she's in one or two of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, but I happened upon her video on YouTube and I wanted to give it a try finally. And so mine is a little bit different than hers, but let me show you the basic construction, and then I'll tell you how she did it and then how I decided to use the project. So basically, as you can see, it's a tag shape. Okay, so it's a tag-shaped multi-fold deal. So let me move this out of the way as well so I can show you this. It has a belly band to hold it closed. I really like that effect. And so basically the way that it's constructed is it flips up. So this is the cover, obviously. This is the cover. It flips up. And in my scenario, I'm just using this all as writing space. Every panel that you see that doesn't have this, this is the only panel that has an image on it. All the rest of them are going to be writing space. So when I fold it all out, it looks like this. Where'd the other one go? It looks like this, okay? Now what Sabrina did, so let me put this back down here and get it back to where it's originating. So when you open it opens up like this, okay? And then it opens up like this, and then you can flip it over and it opens up. How does it flip? Oh, and then you open it up here if this flips up. So you've got all of this stuff and you've got pockets and everything everywhere. So when Sabrina did it, she actually did pockets in every flip. So she did, I believe on this one, the back of this one, she did a like a side pocket. I think down here she did a regular pocket. So she did it different. I was having trouble envisioning how this was going to all fold out and work out because, again, you would flip this up and then you'd flip it back down. You could open it this way, and then you'd open it this way, and then you'd be able to turn it over and start over. So then you'd have all of these sides. Okay, so you've got all of these sides, which if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that that's a challenge for me. Things that are multi-flipped, things that turn and go different directions are really, really hard for me to conceptualize. So I thought, how perfect would it just be to use this design just to have this multi-flip, multifunctional writing space. So all of this can be written on. So let me just open it up so you can see it one more time. Like that, okay? So when you take this out of your journal, you can write on the front and backs of all of these pieces. So it's really, really epic. And then again, I like the belly band idea because you can hold this closed and this can then slide into a pocket or behind a belly band or any number of things. That is bending up. That's not properly glued, apparently. Oh boy. This is my prototype. So there we go. So let me just take off my jacket. It's gotten very warm in here suddenly, probably because I turned the camera on. Go figure. So we're going to make a few of these on camera. I'm not going to decorate them on camera because the only decorating I'm doing is putting some kind of an embellishment on the front of that belly band and potentially a word. So in my other prototype, I did this little word with some vintage lace, and then again the little butterfly ephemera. So this one, I will tell you, is done on, I believe it is a 32-pound paper. It's not preferred by me. I feel like it's not very stable. It's not very secure. So I think my other ones I did with my 65-pound paper. So this one, my other prototype, is done on 65-pound paper, and you can see the profile is thicker. So let me just show you them up to each other. So probably half the size in terms of thickness. Okay, so it's totally up to you. This works. It's usable, but again, it feels a little bit fragile for me, but I'm used to creating ephemera on 65-pound paper. So I'm going to do my other pieces on 65-pound. So these are both kits from Rach and Bella Crafts. creating a garden story kit, I believe. And then also some of the pieces are from Angela Kerr Designs side of the kit. So I'm going to set those over there. And let's talk about the measurements here. Well, we'll talk about the measurements with the paper. My apologies. Goodness gracious, it's a work night. Need I say? You should just know, if I start blabbering and making nonsense talk, then you'll know that it's a work night. So let's just start with this one. And basically what you need is, my printer will not print borderless. So I have no way of avoiding this. So my pages will always be shorter because I have no ability to control that. So I've printed this tea stain paper. This is from Ruby and Pearl. I've been using it a lot, from her Beautiful Birds kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these edges off, and then we're going to talk about what size my paper is so that you can follow the tutorial based on my paper size. So I'm in the United States, so my actual paper size is 8.5 by 11. It's letter size. So I will be right back. Okay. So my paper, when I remove the white borders, measures 8.25 inches tall by 10 and 11/16. It was really strange measurement, and you will notice as we start the folding that I do have to, I believe there's an edge I have to trim off, but I will show you that. I did this prototype a couple of nights ago, so it's not sharp in my mind. It looks like I've got a little bit of white edge here. Let me just grab that off, get rid of that really quick. Must have cut that crooked in the trimmer. So what you want to do is you're going to hold your paper this way, so portrait, in the portrait direction. Now, just so I can show you the math that I did, is I took 8.25. Let me just grab my phone here, get my calculator. So let me just open this really quick. So if you take 8.25 divided by 3, you get 2 3/4 inch pieces. So that's what we're going to go by. So I'm going to go ahead and make a mark. I have a hard time with my scoreboard, so I'm going to just mark it really far up here at the top, and then I'm just going to go over to the trimmer and the scoreboard and score it. Or I might not score it. I might just fold it. Who knows? So 2 3/4 right here. And then I'm going to move my ruler, and I'm going to do the next 2 3/4. That was 2 3/4, right? Yes. 2 3/4. So if you had a bigger piece of paper, you could obviously go bigger, but this is the limit of what I can do. And I am going to go that final measure just to see if I've got any excess. It looks like it's pretty much exact, but when I fold, it always turns out weird. So just for the sake of the video, I'm going to grab my scoreboard here just a moment. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. And I need to move that mark up. And this is part of my problem, is I make my marks too low and then I just can't quite line them up like I want them to be. So I'm just going to score that. Grab the little score bit dealio at the bottom of it. I'm going to score here. This is 65-pound paper, so I'm going to do it twice. But please do head over and check out Sabrina Taylor. I like to give credit where credit is due. I did not think of this. I could not think of this. Multifold things are not my natural inclination, so I really appreciate it when creators do this. So I hope that you'll go over and show her some love. So that's your first step, is you're going to score that. And then I'm going to erase those pencil marks just because I don't want those to show. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and fold. I'm going to get my bone folder and give that a good crease. And then we'll talk about the other fold that's the other direction. I would check out Sabrina though. She explained it a lot better than me and with a lot less words. Her video was really short, which is sometimes really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this one in and see how I'm doing here. I think sometimes the lack of accuracy is because once you start folding this paper, it changes, it bulks it out, you know. So we've got an uneven edge over here though, which is interesting. Okay, so let's see, let's zigzag fold it and see. Oh, look at that, just about perfect. This edge is not perfect though. What the heck happened? That is not cool. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to see if I can fix that. What the what? Okay. Why is that so crooked? I'm not going to worry about it on the prototype. Hopefully my other one will be cut a little bit straighter. I'm not sure what I did wrong there, but that's our folds. And so then I just folded this paper in half the other way, and I'm going to match it all up and try to get it even, you know. What can I say? Try to get it even. Okay. Give that a crease and give it a good burnish. And so what you should end up with is 9 sections of your paper. So we have 9 sections. Let's see how this is wider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections, not 9. Because see how that looks smaller? 2, and it is. That other side is shorter. Interesting. Oh, if you know what I'm doing wrong, you could sure tell me. So then the other thing that, so what we're going to do now is we're going to cut on either side of this score line, both here and here, but we need to ink it up so that we can see it. So I'm going to fold this one in half, and I'm going to grab my ink pad here, just ink that up. Doesn't have to be super dark, we just want to see it, and do the same with this one. Okay, boom. So now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut on each side of this score line. And then one more cut on the other side of the score line. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Just get it all the way up to that edge. Come on, get out of the way. Get out of the way. There we go. So those slivers are gone. So you see how the gap that we have. This one looks like, oh no, I was pulling the paper. So that should be fine. And so the next thing you're going to do is go ahead, and you've got 2 flaps that are naturally going to fold one way, and the third one is going to fold the other way. So we're going to let that one go that way, and we're going to fold these 2 up this way. Okay, and then we're going to give all of this a good burnish. Okay. And then what she did is she just took this side and she just folded it. Whoops, get that in there. Folded it this way, okay? And then we're gonna burnish that all again. And so I found that my uneven edges didn't really matter because this is for a junk journal, a homemade journal, a handmade journal, whatever you wanna call it, these pieces. So I don't worry too much about things being perfect. That's very off. It's something that I did with the cutting because I can even see that this edge is uneven, which is very strange. So let me see what happened here. That looks pretty straight. I'm going to put this in my trimmer and just see if I could see if this one is crooked. So give me just a quick second. So I'm hoping that I didn't mess this up. If I did, we've learned something. So we're going to fold those back again, fold that one forward, and actually it's this way. So let me back up and explain better. So you want the connected pieces to be up here when you do this fold. So I believe it was these two forward and this one backwards. No, I don't think it matters. And then fold like that. So that looks straighter to me in some ways. In some ways, not so much. That's okay. So then what we have here is we should have a piece that folds. Oh, come on. So you just want this that folds up. Okay. So that's how I know which side is the one that I want to cut my tag shape. So it's the top side. So I'm going to grab my template and I'm going to just make a mark because this is pretty thick paper. So I'm going to use the small setting on this, this little credit card. Actually, let me just cut it with the scissors all at once. Let's just go for it. Boom. Turn that over. Do the other side. I hope you'll stick around for the second one because I'm sure it will go smoother. The first one is always challenging on camera. There we go. Okay, so there you've got your tag shapes. So this one folds up, same thing. So it's all the same. You've got these 6 sections of beautiful writing space. So I will ink all that stuff up later, but I do want to put our paper on the front. So I'm just making sure I've got that. So I'm going to ink just this top one up just so I can kind of give you a picture of what this looks like. Okay. So I'm going to open it because I want to be able to just put my paper on it and then just cut around the paper or cut the excess off. So I picked this image here. So we're going to put her on there. And I couldn't remember if I cut this one wrong. Nope, I didn't. It's just right. I didn't cut that white off because I had a problem with one of the prototypes where it didn't quite match up. So I'm just setting that on there to just get a visual idea of where I want that, what part of the digital I want to be on that tag shape. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. I'm going to glue this down. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set this on here again, just trying to kind of measure the position that I want that. And I'm just going to set it down. Because I'm using Fabri-Tac, I will have a chance to move this. So I'm going to give it a press and I'm going to hold it up like so. Okay, I'm going to press that all out and we're going to just trim that paper off. It's what I call the cheater's way of covering things. It's not. It's working smarter, not harder, I think. I'm just going to cut around that. So obviously, whatever paper you use, you can divide it just evenly into 3s and cut off any excess. So you can make these any size you want. If you had a paper that was bigger than 8.5 inches wide, you could make your tags bigger, potentially. So I'm going to, these angles are challenging, so let me try to do this. Oh my goodness. There we go. Boom. Okay. Get that out of the way. So that's our nice little cover on there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Ink that up. I'll show you the belly band. Again, not rocket science. Anything you could do it easily. So this is all wonky though. I can see all the edges peeking through. Got a nice little layered look though, so I don't mind it. Okay, and this is my belly band piece. And then I think this was my word. So I'm going to go ahead and just set this belly band piece on here, just leaving enough to not quite cover the back as well, so about there. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. And I'm just going to pinch that on that side. Okay. And then while that's pinched, I can trim off the excess off this other end. So I'm going to get it about right there. Okay. And I'm going to pinch that side as well. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to ink this up. Let's glue this on. We can ink those folds here in a second. So I'm just going to set that in place. And I'm going to go a little bit looser. So I forgot, I don't want it to be hard to get in and out of, but I also don't want it to just have the ability to fall out. So I'm just loosening that up a bit. And I've got my Barely Arts glue here. I'm just going to put some glue right there. And glue it down, just like that. I'm not too concerned about the back, you know, it's not going to really show or anything. So there's that. So I think I'll save, oh, that's really loose. It's just meant to hold it in so it doesn't like just all go crazy and open on you. So I think I'll save the word and do that off camera. I'll probably put a little piece of lace or something on this somewhere, and but I'll finish that off camera because I want to be able to show you this another time or two, since I botched it pretty badly, I feel. So let me grab the next one. Oh boy, that was a loud cart. So this one, I decided to use this printed paper. This is from Angela Kerr Designs, her side of the kit. And it's the same print on both sides. So I'm hoping that that will turn out good. And it's still beautiful enough to write on. It's beautiful yellow fabric. So let me trim my edges off of this and I'll be right back. Okay, so there is our paper. Beautiful. Oh, we didn't get that edge quite trimmed off, so give me another split second here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to follow the same process. I'm going to get my ruler out. I'm going to make sure that this is 8 1/4 inches. It's a little bit more than 8 1/4, Cara-Renee. How is that possible? So I need to take off a bit. Isn't that weird? So strange. So I'm just going to take off about 1/16 of an inch off of one side. Seriously weird. Let's see if we get closer. Yeah, perfect. 8 1/4. Okay, so we're going to mark it the same as we did on the other one. Sorry for my sniffling. I was feeling better, and then we had a sick kid at school today who actually ended up throwing all over his para an hour before it was time to go home. So it's not a good place to be right now. So I'm going to go 2 3/4 right there. And I'm going to go move my ruler and I'm going to do it again. Okay. I'm not great with measurements, which is why I'm doing this, and I'm not great with scoring. So, and let's just I spy this and see if we're, yep, 2 3/4, and we should be 2 3/4 there. Yep. So let me go ahead and score this really quick. I'll just bring it right into view for you again. You can see my epic scoring abilities. Not really. Okay, there we go. So let's just get that in there. I find that when I put the mark up higher, I have a little bit better success with getting this in the right spot. There we go. So I'm going to go 2 times because again, this is 65-pound paper. And I'm just going to move, I like to move it over to a solid number so it's a bigger, fatter line. That just helps me a little bit. Okay. Boom. Not too bad. Okay. Let's get that scoreboard out of the way. That eraser and erase those marks. Boom. Okay. So let's go ahead and fold this. So this time, instead of trying to fold it into itself to see if it's straight, I'm going to fold it in the way that it's going to actually be in the project, which is this way, like a little accordion type of thing. So I'm going to do that and burnish that edge. Crease that out really well. Okay. Like that. Yep, there we go. And then we're going to fold it up. And again, we're going to have it meet on all those important parts. So I'm looking at the corners as well as this top edge. Okay. And when you get a heavier weight paper, it is harder to get everything to stay straight because you've got the bulk of the paper that is a piece of the puzzle that can kind of skew things sometimes. Because again, this is a heavier paper. I don't know what weight paper Sabrina used, but you could watch her video. She might have said it. I just don't recall. Okay, so there is that. So this time I think I'm going to ink everything because I want you to see what it looks like inked, because we printed on this this printed paper. So give me a moment. Okay, just about done with all of this inking. It is a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Making sure I get it on both sides though, because I want that to be nice and grungy. That's my taste. So we are inked on both sides and all of the quadrants. So we're going to cut again, like I did in the other one. We're going to cut on both sides of the score line here and here. We will leave this intact. So I will speed this up. Okay, so we will have to ink some of these edges again. I didn't think about the fact that we would be cutting that inking off. We'll just do that really quick. You can always go back and ink this stuff later too, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So there again, you have your intact pieces up at the top. So you're going to fold. It doesn't really matter which way it goes. It could go this way or the other way. So we're going to fold it down, these two down or to the back, and this one to the front. And we're going to go ahead and burnish that again. Okay. All right. And then you're going to take this and you're just going to fold it over. That's a lot straighter. Oh, and I'm very pleased with that. Okay. Just give this a little extra oomph since it's the outside of it. There we go. Okay. So we want to find our front. So this is our front flip up. So we're going to go ahead and cut our tag shape up at the top. Now you wouldn't have to make it into a tag shape. You could leave it just as a rectangle. That's totally up to you. I personally like the idea of it looking like a tag, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to use my little template here again. And turn that over. Here, I'll have to do all that inking again because I just cut off all the corners. It's all right. You get the gist, right? I hope. So on the very last one we do, we'll decorate it a little bit more. It's going to be for the Suite of On journal. So even though I've made a lot of really like bold ephemera for her journal, I haven't made stuff for the pockets like tags and things like that. Haven't made any pockets, so I'm going to need to have stuff for pockets. So there we go. Well, that was weird. Okay, so there's our flip. So again, all these are now uninked. So I will ink them again before I take the photos. So let's see what image we have for this. So I thought this one would be beautiful. This one is from Angela Kerr Designs. Beautiful, beautiful digitals. So I'm going to again fold that back out so that I can get a good view of this. I want a lot of the blue flowers mixed with the yellow here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Fabri-Tac and put glue all over this. Oh, I didn't tell you that the paper that I'm putting on this front panel, all these images are printed on 20-pound paper, regular copy paper, because I didn't want to use a heavier paper and bulk up this piece any more than it already is. So that's what I do. I don't very often print on 20-pound, but it's very effective for covering envelopes or covering things like this, or for like doing master boards and such. So those are the times when I will deliberately print on 20-pound paper. So I'm just trying to finagle this turn. This is the sticky turn. Okay, boom, gorgeousness. Okay, so there's our little tag shape. I love it. I love it so much, and I love, love, love the vintage photo against that yellow and blue. I think it's really striking, really beautiful. Okay, so we're going to do one more and then I'll let you go. So this was the same thing. I would put a belly band on it. I've got a word. So I've got the dotted vellum again. I didn't mention that I did the belly bands in vellum. So we've got that. And then we've got a word that says Golden Days. I thought that was very fitting for that digital. So I'm going to set that over there as well. You'll be able to see all that in the photos at the end of the video. So we've got another one where we've got the base. That is that tea stain paper. And this one is for the Suite of On journal. So I picked this piece of ephemeral. I picked two and I can't decide. Which one do you think I should use for the cover? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm leaning towards this, but we will see. So I'm going to take a moment again, and I'm going to go ahead and cut off all of my edges, and I'll be right back. There we go. So let's check our measurements one more time. Yep. Oh, pretty close to 8 1/4. Yeah, 8 1/4. That's good. And then my height should not change, and the height doesn't matter as much as the width. So this is, oh, well, that's interesting. That's 10 3/4. Interesting. Makes you wonder if the printer prints can go wrong, you know, like in where it prints the digital on the piece of paper. This happens quite a bit to me. I'm not sure what that's about. So I'm going to make my marks again at 2 3/4 apart. So I'm going to make a mark here. I'm going to move my ruler over, make another mark. And check this mark. Yeah, it's a little short. Interesting. We'll deal with it. So I'm going to go ahead and score this. I'm just going to lean over here. Well, actually, I don't have any room, so I'm going to have to bring it back into camera here. I've got my embossing machine taking up some of my workspace to my left because I'm getting ready for another video. So got all the stuff out and ready to go. So I'm just lining that up. Again, scoring twice. Get that on a big number, number 7, lucky number 7. Okay, boom. Like that. So we're going to do the same thing. Oh, let's erase those marks. If you do it in pencil, you can always erase those erroneous marks that you don't really want to be seen. So I'm going to fold this one in. I'm going to score it. Sorry for the flippancy. See, we've got white edge. So that means that it doesn't print exactly the same on this paper every single time. So it's interesting. But we will just ink over that. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, and then we're going to do the other one the other way, just kind of accordion style. Okay. And then we're going to fold it in half. So interesting. I've got all that white edge, which means, so when I print a digital on the front of my paper and then I turn it over to the print on the back, it doesn't always print exactly the same. It's pretty close, but it's never quite exact, which is what I'm bumping into here, I think, more than anything. So I don't want to make the mistake and try to cut that off, because then my measurements will be off. So we're just going to roll with this. Okay. Boom. I will ink all these edges when I'm done. Don't need it for the tutorial. So I do need to ink the edges that we're going to cut. So I'm going to do that same thing. I'm just going to give this a bit of ink. Give this a bit of ink. Here we go. And we're going to do our cutting. And again, we're cutting on just slightly, just a sliver on either side of the score line. And this just allows your folds to fold. It just makes it possible for everything to fold without bulking anything up. So do the same here. I will say that if you're using a 20-pound paper or lighter paper, even the 32-pound, this was a little bit harder because the paper's flimsier, but this one's pretty easy because it's 65-pound. But you can use what you have, you guys. You don't have to have what I have. And I think this would be a great scrap busting project, because you could take a bunch of coffee dyed paper like this, full sheet, and just use your scraps. You could even collage on the front of your piece, and it would be beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and fold these two under, fold this one up, and we're going to burnish again. Okay. We're going to fold this over. You could also do it the other way. It doesn't really matter. So you could go like that. Okay. I'm just doing it this way because it's what I've been doing. I like my steps to be the same. Makes sense to me, but that's just the way my old brain is beginning to think. So let's see where our front is. That's our back. And where's our front? Come on. This is why it's tricky. There we go. So that's the front. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and cut my tag shape. So you can see that these are uneven, but it doesn't really matter in the finished project, at least not the way that I'm using it. I don't know if you'd need to be more particular. I don't think so. If you were going to put pockets and things, I might do another one off camera and put some pockets in it just so you guys can get a look at what that would look like. And I'll just show those photos at the end of the video. Maybe I'll do that before I turn the lights out here. Okay, there we go. Beautimous. I'm going to go ahead and just ink this just for feeling like I'm doing everything here to make this front piece beautiful. So you can see I had that white edge, but I just ink it up and you can't even tell that it was the white edge leftover border. So there we go. So that's going to flip up. Boom. So it would be really cool. Oh, that was really crooked. Got a rough edges. Probably too many pages to try to nip through to get that tag shape. I'll have to sand that down or something. So let's go ahead and showcase these papers. I was just concerned about this one, if it would be too big. I don't think it is. Look at that. It's perfect. So we're going to use this image. It's not, I would not tend towards this. This style is, I mean, I think it's beautiful, but it's not what I gravitate towards. So I'm doing this for Yvonne. I wanted to give her some things like this as well, because these were the images, the kits that she picked. So this one's from Ruby and Pearl. I believe this is from the romance kit. So everything will be linked below though. So I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to open this up just so I can get full access there. I'm going to ink that, glue this. let's see, I want it to be about right there. So I'm just going to try to, I should probably cut some off the top. I can cut it off the top when I'm done, because I can fold that back over. So I'm going to try to get rid of this, whatever this thing is over here. And so I'm going to move it over enough, and then that way we get more of the guy in as well. So we want the guy, her bow, right? We want our bows in the picture, right? At least I do. There we go. Boom. So beautiful. Okay, just press that down. It would be really, really cool to sew around this front panel piece. I just don't know how I would do it in my machine easily and effectively. Pardon me, I have a frog in my throat. Better not be getting sick again. I finally felt good over the weekend. This is Tuesday night after work. And I only have, how many days? I don't have very much school left, and then it's summer break. So, and we have a long weekend vacation at the end of May over Memorial Day. So I miss a couple of days of school, and then we come back and there's only a couple of weeks of school, and then it's summer break. Epic! I'm gonna go ahead and try this. Let's just trim it off there. Just be careful you don't cut through anything that's folded. That's the risk when you do this kind of thing. So I'm just going to trim that off. Okay. Oh, isn't that precious? I love it. I love it. It's got a little bit of my grunge style. I'll put a little bit of grungy lace on here. But let's go ahead and do our belly band on this. And then I have this quote. This is from Beautiful Words kit from Ruby and Pearl. It says, "No one has ever measured, not even poets, how much the heart can hold." I can hardly read that. Somebody Fitzgerald. Oh my goodness. Yeah, can't read it. But we're going to use that quote on here. But the belly band, I just printed a piece of the digital from, I believe this is from Chapter 1 Papers lace kit. And I just printed that because I was thinking I was going to use the yellow, and then I didn't. So this is what I want to do. Is this what I want to do? Well, it is what I'm doing because it's what I have. You can't really tell it's yellow. So we're going to go ahead and do that same process. I'm going to fold this around. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to keep it kind of tight. I think that last one I got a little bit loose, so I don't want it to be that roomy. Okay, and then let's just mark this, and then we won't have to guess how much we're cutting off. Okay, I'm just going to make a pencil mark here all the way down. So my apologies for the beginning of the video. That was kind of rough. So for those of you who aren't concerned about a human and not an AI doing a video for you, and you're not looking for perfection, then this should appeal to you. I only can do what I can do. I try to film when I can, and sometimes that's after work, which is not optimal in terms of my ability to think clearly. But, so I hope that you'll forgive me if things are rough. I love that. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Okay, let's glue that. Let's glue that on the back. Okay, so there's that. So now we need to cut our little quote down, and I usually can cut it pretty straight by just following the top line of script there. So I'm going to do that. Hope for the best. Okay, and do that same on the bottom. I don't usually use those quote cards as they are. I usually always will cut them down because I don't necessarily want all the interesting bits that are around the outside. Where's some of that? Yeah, so it's got some design. Sometimes I want that, sometimes I don't. So you can use your digitals however you choose. So I'm debating on this one. I'm debating on putting that right on that. So let me find a piece of vintage lace. Maybe I've got some in my basket right here. Easy peasy. Don't know what I have in here. I like that kind that can really pull apart and be separated and be really grungy-ish. So, oh, but then we've got this. Look at this. I used this in my sister's journal. Wouldn't that be pretty? A piece of that under that. There we go. That's the one. That is the one. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. It's a scarf that I got at an antique shop when her and I were together, actually. And I was dreaming about making her journal. I made her a blue journal. And so this went into some of her ephemera. Just gonna kind of cut that down. See what we think. I wasn't intending to use the rough piece, but I like it. I like that a lot. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Okay, but do we want it to be the whole length? I don't think so. Oh, it's this side. Look at the sparkles. Oh my gosh. So let's trim a little bit more off that edge. I don't necessarily want it to hang over. So let me just trim that. Hopefully I can get a straight cut. Straightish. Not when I'm shaking. There we go. So beautiful. I actually don't think I want to put the word, I don't know if I want to put the word over it because we'll cover up. Oh, we won't lose all of it though. So we're going to do it. Let's put some Fabri-Tac down. I'm going to be very careful not to get too close to the edge of the vellum, top and bottom, so I don't get any of this bleeding over. I do want to get it nice and close to that edge though, without going over. Okay, let's put that on. Oh, this is so pretty. I was looking at the wrong side. It's absolutely stunning. Love it. Okay, yeah, let's put our word on. So guys, I think this is it for today, and I will see you in the next video. I'm going to be doing, I'll give you kind of a snapshot here. I watched another video while I was sick. I caught up on a lot of my video watching, and I watched a video by Scrimping Mama, Amanda over at Scrimping Mommy. It's actually a video I watched a long time ago, and then I saved it into one of my playlists for inspiration, and I went back and watched it. And it's basically sort of like an envelope flip kind of piece of ephemera, but it's made into a journal signature. So it's a page that opens like this, and on this side you've got a divided pocket. And so you can have tags stick out the sides here on this side of the page on the left. And then on the right, you have your buildup of your envelopes that are going to have flips and flops and all that. So I'm going to do it as a center signature. I believe in at least the Joyful Spring Journal and maybe the Sweet Yvonne Journal. I have not decided on that yet. But until next time, that'll be the next video you see after this one. But it'll probably be a two-parter. So the first one we'll do the construction, and we'll probably cover the panels with the paper, and then we'll come back in the second one and make tags and do the rest of the work. So, but look at that. That blue just totally did it. I'm going to have to add some of this into my Sweet Yvonne basket so that I use more of it in the journal. So that is what we have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching and for bearing with me and for being ever so gracious to me. So I believe that when we give grace, we are able to receive grace in return. So I do thank you for that. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.